If you've tried melatonin and you still can't sleep, or it actually made you feel worse, you are not crazy and you are not alone. In today's episode, we are unpacking how melatonin works with your stress response and why it's not a fix-all for adrenal fatigue. So the truth is that melatonin isn't a sedative. It is a signal for your system. So melatonin actually tells your body that it is time to start winding down, but it doesn't necessarily override your stress chemistry. So if your body is stuck in survival mode, it's feeling very wired, it's anxious, it's overstimulated, melatonin might not be enough to shift you into rest. And for some people, it can actually make things worse. And I see this all of the time with women who are so deeply fatigued, but they can't fall asleep. Their body is exhausted, but their brain just won't shut off. And they're trying supplements, they're trying magnesium, herbal blends, and eventually melatonin, but nothing is working long term. And this is usually a sign that HPA axis is dysregulated. And your HPA axis, which is short for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, is the system that manages your stress response and helps to regulate your circadian rhythm and your adrenals. So when it's running smoothly, your cortisol is rising in the morning, it's helping you wake up and get all of the energy you need to start your day. And then that cortisol kind of drops off in the evenings and around nighttime. It's at its lowest point when your melatonin naturally rises. So if you have been really stressed, if you've been burnt out, if you are sick or really inflamed for a long time, this natural rhythm can get disrupted or even flipped. So cortisol can stay high at night and low in the morning when it gets flipped. And that's when you get that really tired but wired feeling, like you are ready to crash, but your body still feels on guard. And in that state, taking melatonin is like telling your body go to sleep in a room where the alarm is still going off. It's just not going to land most of the time. And this is why some people say that melatonin gives them very vivid dreams, or it makes them really groggy, or even increases nighttime waking. It's not necessarily a bad supplement, it's just being used without addressing the bigger issue. So let's talk about how to use melatonin safely if you choose to do it at all. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that with melatonin, more is not better. A lot of people tend to grab a 3 milligram or a 5 milligram tablet because that's what's on the shelf, but your body makes melatonin in much smaller amounts, more like 0.3 to 1 milligram. And that's often all that you need to signal without overwhelming your system. In fact, higher doses can even backfire because they might cause a lot of grogginess the next day, maybe those intense or vivid dreams that we've mentioned. It can even cause you to wake up around 2 to 3 a.m. or feel emotionally off, moody, or flat. So if that has been your experience, it is a sign that your body is trying to notify you that HPA axis and that sleep-wake rhythm need deeper support. And timing can matter just as much as the dosage. So melatonin isn't a sleeping pill. It is working best when it mimics your natural rhythm. So that means taking it 30 to 60 minutes before bed, ideally around the same time each night. So not taking it at midnight after you've been doom scrolling, not in the afternoon hoping for a nap, but 30 to 60 minutes before a scheduled bedtime. So if your bedtime is all over the place, your brain isn't going to get a clear signal. And that's when melatonin starts to feel confusing instead of helpful. So let's talk about a few signs that melatonin might not be right for you at this moment. Maybe you're feeling worse after taking it. It can help you at first, but then maybe it stops working after a while, or you feel like you have to increase your dosage pretty quickly. Maybe you're waking up more often, you feel more anxious when you're waking up, maybe you're feeling really emotionally flat or disconnected the next day, or you're feeling really groggy and like you cannot get through your day. So in these cases, it's just that the melatonin is only one piece of the puzzle, and sometimes that piece doesn't click into place until the rest of your system is ready. So if melatonin isn't the magic bullet, what actually helps? Here's what I tell my patients. Your body already knows how to sleep. It's just forgotten how to feel safe enough to let go. So melatonin can be a gentle nudge, but the real work is in retraining your HPA axis and building the conditions that your body recognizes as rest-worthy. That means focusing on simple, foundational habits and layering in additional support from there. And a side note, it is also very important to address the root cause if foundational habits are not making enough progress for your HPA axis. So one of the simplest things that we can do is build in a wind down routine into our evenings, because your nervous system responds to rhythm. And when you are dimming the lights, when you're putting the screens away, you do the same things each night. Maybe it's stretching, washing your face, taking a bath, journaling. Your brain naturally starts to anticipate rest. And you're telling your brain, hey, we're safe now. Hey, we can sleep for the day. And so it starts to naturally produce melatonin around the same time. Another simple thing is to get morning sunlight. And I know it sounds too simple, but it is huge. So getting 10 to 15 minutes of natural light in your face in the morning can actually help to set your internal clock for better sleep at night that evening. This helps to reset your cortisol. It tells your brain when to be alert and when to wind down, and it helps you sleep so much better in the evenings. We also want to balance our evening meal. So eating enough, especially enough protein and fat at dinner, can help to prevent blood sugar crashes that are going to be waking you up between 2 and 4 a.m. You know, those times when you wake up early in the morning and you feel really anxious, shaky, maybe even clammy, or your heart is racing. A light, carby dinner or skipping meals can seem harmless, but it can really backfire for people in recovery. It's also important to practice calm breathing before bed. Maybe a few minutes of slow, gentle nasal breathing can help you to lower your cortisol and ease your body into parasympathetic mode. Remember, cortisol and melatonin have opposing effects. So when we lower our cortisol at night, we are raising our melatonin. This eases our body into that parasympathetic rest, digest, and heal state where the melatonin can actually work on our system. So you can try a simple pattern where you inhale for 4, pause, and then exhale for 6. And just repeat this for 3 to 5 minutes, and that alone can make sleep much easier for you to access, even without supplements like melatonin. And this might sound really simple, maybe even too simple, but that's the point. Your body doesn't necessarily need complexity. It needs consistency, calm, and clear signals of safety. And when those are in place, your natural melatonin production can return. So you might not need a supplement at all, or if you do, it becomes a bridge and not a crutch. If you've been taking melatonin and still struggling to sleep, it usually means that your nervous system is still in a state of defense. It's wired, it's overstimulated, and it's unsure if it's truly safe to rest. And that's not something that a single supplement can fix. But your nervous system and your brain can be retrained. With the right support, your HPA axis can learn to regulate itself again. Your body can remember how to wind down, and melatonin can become a gentle tool in your toolkit, not just the only thing that you rely on. And this is exactly what we support inside the Nervous System Healing Code. We walk you through step by step and help you understand your unique stress response, rebuild your circadian rhythm naturally, and create nourishing sleep routines that don't rely on pills or quick fixes. We also help you to use breathwork, nervous system tools, and optional lab testing to uncover what's actually keeping you stuck. And many of our clients come in feeling like sleep is a nightly battle, and within a few weeks, they are falling asleep easier, they are staying asleep longer, and waking up with more energy. So, if you are ready to stop guessing and finally feel rested again, you can join the program or book a one-on-one consultation with us using the links below at bloomandwell.com. Thanks for tuning in to the Bloom and Well podcast. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite platform. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, happy healing and keep bloomin' well.